Okay, so I'd like to welcome Hev Govan from Lady Magnolia Decorating to Straight to the Point, where the sparks fly.
Oh, God.
Think it's cheesy.
Yeah.
You should say the logo. It's got like a microphone with sparks coming out of it.
Bloody hell.
In ChatGPT, which I use a lot of now,
For cheating.
it's tweaked the company logo, the Arrow Electrical logo, and I think it's done a really good job of it. So I'm having you on the business podcast as the first guest. I met you, was it in 2019?
Yes.
Um,
1st of
Obviously,
August.
we were doing a lighting showroom at work. We just developed a big, spent a lot of time and money on a lighting showroom, and we had little like pods set up, little rooms that had like wallpaper and like a room setting where we had the lights on display, and we got you in to do some decorating work on them.
Yeah, you didn't like the elephant wallpaper in one of them. So your brother got me in to strip that off, replace the wallpaper on that. I think repaint the ceiling in it as well. And then
Yeah,
I
you
think
done
I
it.
repainted one of the other pods. That was just white. The one there's because you only got one that doesn't have any wallpaper in it. And
Yeah,
then you had a shelf to paint that shelf.
you just have to excuse the hairband I'm wearing. It's not a tiara. It's just to keep my hair back. 'Cause it's a bit long at the minute. I mean, I'm 41, so I've got a lot of hair and it's highlighted, so I might as well have it. You know, people that are bald don't have a choice. It's not my fault I look like Homelander.
Poundlander.
Homelander from The Boys on Amazon.
Poundlander.
I look exactly like
The
him.
Timu version.
Anyway, when you first came in 2019, you still had your van. Was it a Citroen Berlingo or
No, it was Peugeot partner.
Peugeot partner?
Yeah.
It was
For
a
all
white
things.
van,
Yeah.
and you had your sign writing on there.
I did, yes, I know. I was
And
flying high, wasn't I?
so
Had it all going for us.
I hadn't getting you in to do the job. I think it was my brother who'd you'd
Yeah.
previously done. He'd done some work for him at his house.
Yeah, done the whole house, basically.
And then we got you
Well,
in to
sort
do
of.
the decorating on our trade counter, and I noticed you were like self-employed and you had your business details on your van. I think you had your Facebook and your Instagram on at the time. So I just thought I'd give you a follow to support like a small business and see what you know, like some of your posts and share your details if anybody needed any decorating work done. And yeah.
That was, I painted the toilets first, and I never saw you then.
Well, actually, we got you in to paint the toilets, and I think we wanted a nice scrubbable paint. Was that it?
He didn't mention Scrubble, but it's like paint.
Scrubbable.
He just wanted it white.
Yeah.
And then what you got was trade emulsion
Some
white.
cheap shite. You thought them two brothers there. I'm going to pull a fast one on them and put some cheap
Not
shite on
how
and
it.
be in and out.
Does it still look good 6 years later though? It does.
Suppose so. That's because it hasn't been used that much.
No, but it still looks good. But the only thing that's on it now is cobwebs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, I think shortly after that you fell for me head over heels.
No.
Took you for a Chinese. We went to our, I think on our first date, we went to Cafe Montalbano in Langley Park.
Mm-hmm.
I actually forgot my phone before we went in, so I was just sat there with absolutely no crack. And I left my phone in the car, so it was like an old-fashioned date.
You still don't have any crack.
Even though I've still got no crack, you've got even less.
The thing is, as well, Tony, you shouldn't really be on your phone on a first date. So
No. So I think after that we went to the Pavilion at concert for a Chinese.
Yeah, I remember it well. I'm still a vegetarian, so I never having a cashew nut-based meal. But it was very, very nice, though. I remember really liking it.
Yeah, you were a vegetarian for a while, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Just touching on painting and decorating, how would you find things now in 2025 when you're quoting for a job?
It's harder.
You've just recently introduced a new system where you'll ask the customer to complete a survey before you go out and quote.
I think I think it's a good way forward because if you ask the customers what their budgets are, no, especially these days, because it's I need to start saving money on diesel and tear on the van because otherwise I need well, it's not a van, it's a car, but it looks like a van. But I need my car to stay on the road basically, and I can't be wasting miles and diesel on quotes that are not going to go anywhere.
Because it's kind of pointless if a customer wants you to do them at like a handyman prices or
Mm-hmm.
incredibly cheap because you're a fully qualified painter and decorator and you do dustless sanding, you'll do a proper professional job.
Yeah,
Where if you get an idea how much they're looking to spend beforehand, it gives you an
yeah,
idea whether it's even worth quoting for.
exactly. So
And I have heard of some electricians recently when they're doing like an EV, an electric vehicle charging point, they will say to the customer, "Look, I'll come out and give you a quote, but it's going to cost £50 or whatever," and then you
mhm.
can reclaim that back off the price if they decide to go ahead with the job. But I think in your line of work, you couldn't charge a customer for a
No,
quotation.
you can't. It's I have seen of someone on on one of the decorators forums that has started doing that, and it's
It's
working out well for him. But in general, I really can't see how that would work.
pretty much
But
unheard of, isn't it?
so because really you can't. I mean, if it's an insurance job, yes,
Yeah.
charge. So before you even do it, they've got to like. I'm not really sure what the going rate is for an insurance job now because too many people obviously they just want to bank the money, don't they? They just need the quotation off you, send the insurance company, and then you've wasted your time and they've pocketed the money. So it has happened to me a few times before, but I'm wise to it now. You can sniff them out. You can sniff it out now. So
So, how long have you been a painter and decorator?
21 years.
21 years.
Yeah,
And how long have you been self employed doing it?
12.
12 years self employed. Would you say now is about the hardest time you've known in all those years?
Yeah, but I mean, at the beginning it was really hard getting the work in and making lots of mistakes, being too cheap, not doing things properly. But as the years went on, I just got better, got better equipment. You know, started using better paint. I used to let the customers buy their own paint, and for years that was just a massive mistake because they're always getting the wrong stuff. So I put a stop to that in 2018. I've actually banned customers from buying the paint. So and then I ended up creating accounts with Johnson's, Crown, and Dulux, but I only really use Johnson's. But now I live in Durham, I just go to Brewers, got an account with them.
But there's certain types of paint and wallpaper you'll avoid at all costs because you've used them in the past and had a nightmare with them. So you
Yeah,
know
so the
what's what.
main one, and a lot of decorators will agree with me. So the paint to avoid, oh well, first of all, retail off the shelf kind of paint. Dulux is not bad. The Easy Care range, it's fine. Yeah, it's good to use, but like if you go to B&M and you pick up a tin that says Johnson's on it, but it's Johnson's retail version, that's not going to be good. Valspar is number one. Totally avoid that. It is expensive. It gloops up. I don't think it covers that well, especially if you got dark colours. Um, and it's just not worth the money.
So you're
Valspar.
not looking for any sponsorship deals with those brands you've
No,
mentioned there.
no, and the other one as well is Farrow and Ball.
I
That
say I
is
picked that for my
really
office,
expensive.
and
Yeah, I bet you did.
I watched you firsthand put that on in my office. I picked a nice green colour out for my office. I
Hmm.
think it might was it called Verdite or something.
Yeah, but then did you notice that no matter what I did with it, it dried slightly two different shades?
Yeah, I look at it every day.
And I told you not to get Valspar.
I
Not
like
Valspar,
the.
Farrow and Ball.
I just bought into the brand. I thought it was a. You told me you could get the colour mixed up in there. Was it Johnson's?
Yeah,
At a
which you
fraction
should
of
have
the
done.
price, but I just had to have it.
Hmm.
How would you find being a female in the industry? Does it help in some ways, or is it a disadvantage?
I don't know. I think it's. I've never really, to be honest, I kind of can't really answer that. It's just, don't know.
Do you think certain like elderly women would be more comfortable with you in the house?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm never gonna make as much money as like what some like big contract and painting company, with loads of lads in it. It's not gonna happen.
Do you find customers try and pin you down to a day rate as well? Do they always ask you what your day rate is?
No, I don't get that, and I don't work on day rates because they can be taken out of context and manipulated. It's just best to completely avoid day rates and just go off like the going rate for certain things, like wallpapers has have the rates, because a lot of painters now don't offer wallpapering, so that's becoming quite rare.
Don't offer wallpapering.
No,
Why do you think that is?
because the quality of wallpaper's crap these days.
Yeah.
It's
Do
a
you,
Russian roulette.
do you like putting wallpaper on, or do you prefer painting a wall?
Both, really. Not really fussed. Depends on the wallpaper though. If it's thick and goes on like a dream and just does as it's told, then prefer wallpaper.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to ask, and I've just completely forgot. We'll edit this bit out. So, what was I going to say? You would say of all the trades, painter and decorator, electrician, plumber, where would you say a painter and decorator is on the payment things
On the bottom.
on the bottom?
Yeah.
Would you think most people don't consider it to be like a skilled trade?
No, but that's where they're wrong because it is a skill trade. You can't
Yeah,
just
you've got to.
walk into being. You can't just turn around and go, "All right, I'm a decorator now." You can't just like go to B&Q and just pick up a cheap paint set and if you don't know how to wallpaper and you get asked to do wallpaper, what are you gonna do then?
So, where would you say most of your work comes from? Is it recommendation, like word of mouth?
I think a lot of people see me on Facebook and it is recommendations like word of mouth.
Yeah. Do you ever find you get any work through Instagram?
Quite rare.
I know with Facebook, you tend to find there's like an older generation of people use it now and that ask for any recommendations locally in like village groups and stuff, and I'll always tag you in those. And you always seem to get quotes to do off the back of that.
Yeah.
You might not necessarily win the work, but you do get to, and you like to go out in person and quote as well. You won't quote off photographs.
No, well, most decorators do that.
Is that to get a feel for what you're working with?
Yeah, so well, obviously with the pre-estimate survey now, I mean, I think there has been one person where they filled it out, and I've known what it is that they want to do. It was a staircase, and I think they were looking at the pay about between £300 and £500 for a whole staircase, and I've just thought it's not going to happen. Your materials alone are going to be 200. I mean, painting materials alone is going to be 200.
Yeah. Would you say this year, 2025, the work's been pretty good? Have you had plenty of work coming in?
I've been ticking along, but I am worried, like a lot of us are. Like I'm worried about what's going to happen.
But you've always had plenty of work to keep you going.
hmm
Yeah. You're also heavily into the gym at the moment, and you're doing something called the shred.
Yes, I am. Hi, this is week 2, day 2
And
of
what
the
does
shred.
this involve? Could you just outline this?
So the basic rules is you have to have 1,500 calories a day, 140 grams of protein, 15,000 steps a day. You're not allowed to eat out, no takeaways, no alcohol, and do your sessions 4 times a week.
Ye- Yeah, that's not for me. I mean, earlier I had fish and chips from my favourite at Bell's,
I know you did.
and you just had a diet coke.
Yeah, I know. I sat there with a Diet Coke and watched you eat your food. Well, I wasn't really watching you. I was just sitting on my phone.
Yeah, did you just zone out?
I did, yeah.
But you're doing a lot of meal prep at the moment as well, and calorie
I am.
controlling.
Yeah, I've just, well, you can't say because I've got a filter on, but I've just batched cooked another few chili con carnes. Well, it's not it's not really a chili con carne. It's just like my own made up kind of chili, and I've just done that, and they're on the cooker now, cooling down, ready to go in the fridge. And I need to
And
make up my tuna mayonnaise for my dinners for the week as well.
this start this year as well, you've been using the is it Manjaro weight loss jab?
Yeah, I had 2 pens of that in the beginning of the year.
And what do you think that did?
It it helps with like your hunger.
Did you say it reduces like the food noise, your food
Yeah,
cravings?
yeah, you just don't think about it. And it's been quite a boost for me to really, really kickstart my weight loss journey. To be honest, I think without it, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. But it's kind of like, you know how some people just need that little encouragement, just that gentle push. You know, like when you got a child on the swing and they can't swing themselves, and they've got someone behind them swinging them,
Nice
and then
analogy
and then
that,
the child
Hev.
eventually can get the swing going. You know, it's kind of like Monjaro was like that with me. So like
Or like
the Mon,
a child learning to ride a bike and taking the
yeah,
stabilizers
and
off.
taking the stabilizers off. So the Monjaro was kind of like stabilizers at first, but now I'm not, but now I'm riding the bike.
So, what time are you up in the morning to go to the gym?
I'm gonna have to get up at 5.
5 in the morning, and you're
Yes,
walking there.
yes,
Wow.
because we haven't got Fen, so
Do
it's
you
a good
think?
way of getting plenty of steps in before I go to work.
Do you think it's helped with the time of year you're doing this shred thing, getting
Oh
loads
yeah,
of steps in?
100%. I purposely, because I remember Ross, who owns my gym, that I go to. He put in it must have been the people who did the September shred last year, and I said, oh, I fancied doing that, and but I was just worried about it, you know, like I didn't think I was going to be able to stick to it. I just thought it's too much. And then he was like, why not? You know, just basically why not? And then I didn't, and I held back, and then the January one, I thought it's just too cold. You know, the dark mornings, it's raining, it's cold. Um, so I didn't do the January one. And I thought April would be a good time because they do about 3 shreds a year. So I think the next one is in August till November. But you got to think it's starting to get colder again by then. It's going to start getting dark again, and I just thought with April at least, you know, the weather's it's only going to improve. It's only going to get nicer.
And
So
do you have
it's
an
easier for steps.
Instagram? Do you have an Instagram to go with your weight loss journey? What's that?
It's called heavy lifting.
HEVY.
HEVY, no A in it,
Yeah.
and lifting
I'll put a
underscore
link to that one if
lifting.
anyone wants to follow and get some meal
Yeah,
prep ideas.
I'm not very good at posting on it, but I do post stories. So far, I've been posting like my check diaries on the night time, just to show that I've got my steps in, I've hit the protein, I've hit the calories, and I'm starting to feel it now for definite. Oh, at first it was like, oh, this is easy, but now it's kind of like I'm starting to flag a bit now.
So, how important would you say it is with work to keep your fitness up as well? And you'll obviously need a lot of energy throughout the day to do your job because it's quite physically demanding.
It is, yeah. I need my strength, and I need to be able to. Even though I'm only getting older, I still need to be able to stop into beast mode and just get jobs done. I don't want to be tired and flagging all the time and not wearing overalls that don't fit, you know, and don't feel right.
But you seem to think I sit on my arse all day at work when you look at
You
how many
do,
steps I've done,
yeah.
and you'll always say you haven't really walked anywhere.
Well,
Now,
there was ones I looked when especially when you got home, because obviously we've both got Apple phones, iPhones. I mean, I know I don't have my Apple Watch anymore, but I can still look at your steps. And I think those ones I sat here, and these was back when I was like hitting 10,000 steps a day, and you were sitting on 2,600. I thought,
do you know
how
the
the hell
thing
have you
with
got
the
so low?
Do you know the thing with the steps is I don't really like to go out and do the steps just for the sake of it to hit a number. There will have to be like a purpose to the journey. I won't just walk around in circles.
Hmm.
Yeah, I will be walking to True Paddle at Durham from the house and back. It could count as like a warm up or a warm down, but I won't just go and do the steps to hit a certain number. I find that a bit boring, to be honest.
Well, you're not doing the shred, so it doesn't really matter for
Exactly,
you.
but and with me playing paddle late on at night, because I'm heavily into paddle, I like to kind of save me legs for later on at night, so I won't do too many steps throughout the day. I'll try and conserve my energy a little bit.
Hmm. You're
Um,
just lazy. It's just excuses for laziness.
I'm just lazy, right? But
Yeah,
you're doing an electrical course to
I
hopefully
am.
become an electrician.
I am, yes. I need to get on with that. But I'm on the phone to you, so I can't sit and do that.
How would you find the course has been so far? Has it been easy or quite difficult to learn?
It's hard. I'm not
It's
gonna lie,
hard,
it's hard, yeah.
not easy.
And not having the time to do it either.
Yeah.
And even when I do get the time, I end up getting it wasted by you doing crap like this.
Yeah. One of the things with I've dealt with electricians for over 25 years, running an independent electrical wholesalers with my brother, and one of the things that frustrates me with them is they don't tend to make full and complete lists of what they want. So they'll come in and a lot of them will just give you a list from memory, and
Mm.
you'll be picking the order in the warehouse, and then you'll come back and you say, "Oh, I want a few more bits," or "I want this, I want that," or "Can you show me that?" And it's like, can you not make a list and just send it over by email or WhatsApp or something? But they do tend to like to come in face to face and like work through a job with you, which I find a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. Would
Hmm.
do you think you would make a list if you had a job coming up? You
Definitely,
would
yeah.
know what you want.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I never go to brewers without knowing exactly what I want, you know?
Yeah.
So, it does make sense. Like, for me, like, or if one day I do finally become an electrician, like, I don't plan to be self-employed. I plan to work for a company.
No, I wouldn't be a self-employed
No, no, I'm
electrician,
not
to be
doing it.
honest. No.
I'll be looking for a proper job somewhere. But like if I was coming into somewhere like yours and I was wanting a load of stuff, it would be on a list, and I would just hand you the list.
You would hand me the list.
Yeah.
Because that's what me and my brother tend to do is we'll make sense of a list, or if you're telling us what you want and you're a little bit vague, we'll go into detail to make sure you're going away with the right item. But what we don't appreciate is electricians coming in, or members of the public, for example, where they haven't got a clue what they want and they're asking us for advice and how they would go about doing a job, and trying to get us to tell them what they need when I'm not an electrician. I'm there to deal with professional electricians who know what the stuff is, what it's called, the right terminology of things. Where if the public come in, they can be kind of trying to cut the electrician out and get things they don't really know how to install,
Mhm.
which legally as well, if we tell somebody like to recommend something the wrong size cable, is it boring have?
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, what cable do I need for a cooker?" I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. Or what cable I need for a shower. Um, could be any range of different sizes. Now it's not my job to tell them what they need,
Mm.
and that's why we don't really like dealing with the public. Fair enough if they come in and they know exactly what they want, or an electrician's told them what they need to ask for. That's not a problem, but I don't like being asked advice and technical questions, because at the end of the day, that's not my job.
But anyway, and then on that bombshell, I think we should end it there.
Yeah, it was nice speaking to you, Hev Govan.
Uh, and you, Tony
What's
Hogg,
what's Hev short for?
not telling you.
Heather. And your surname as well, it's pronounced Govan, not
Yes.
Govan.
No, it's not Govan, it's Govan.
Govan.
Govan. Govan.
Hev Govan.
Yes.
Lady Magnolia Decorating
And heavy lifting.
and Heavy Lifting. Give her a follow. She's on Instagram, Facebook. Anybody in the northeast wants a professional job done by a professional painter and decorator,
And there you go.
that would be you.
Rightio. My thanks for
Goodbye.
having us. My bye.
Yeah, bye bye.